Satellite pictures can show you, these are quite interesting in fact, where you can see Ireland and Great Britain quite clearly with this white mass to the left, which is the cloud, which causes the rain.
When was that? When was that?
That was on Saturday. Now you can see this one for Sunday, the progression of the clouds getting a little bit closer to us.
So it was just over the west coast.
Just over the west, that's right, on yesterday, which gave the rain.
And we can see, in fact,
already.
we still had better weather than a lot of continental Europe.
Indeed you did, yes. As you can see, there was quite a lot of cloud over the south of France and over Italy and over Spain. In fact, Ireland had better weather conditions indeed than many sunbound countries. And for today now, you can see where the cloud has moved right in over Ireland. You can see Great Britain quite clearly, but Ireland is cloudy. And
now, what's it going to be like over the next couple of days?
Well, it looks as if there will be occasional thundery showers tomorrow and possibly on Wednesday also. But it looks as if the fine weather will reassert itself. You can see breaks in the cloud there to the northwest. And I think that this finer weather will move down over us again, continuing the dry spell, which isn't to everybody's liking at the moment. Some people are looking for some rain.
Thank you, Seamus. Sean.
In the 1930s, the transatlantic flying boats used the quiet waters of Foynes, but what awaited them out over the Atlantic was a matter for intelligent guesswork only. To help them, an Irish weather forecast service was established.
As we've become more adventurous in the air and on the water, so a really accurate weather forecast service has become even more necessary. It seems that each year our trawlers, for example, have to go into even deeper water to make their catches. And it's not enough to rely on the old traditional ways of weather forecasting, anti-rheumatic twinges or the moisture on a piece of seaweed. That's not enough when your life can depend on it.
The new Met Office at Glasnevin, and on the roof, sophisticated aerials grab pictures from Russian and American weather satellites. The ancients examined the entrails of birds for weather information. Today we can look from where no bird can soar. Today's wise men can plot the information from 140 other countries, but technology makes even this most recent skill almost obsolete. A button is pressed and what took 4 men 2 hours to do is accomplished in 10 minutes by a piece of single-minded electronics. Banks of computers linked to others outside this country store and analyse. It's quick and a lot cleaner than chopping up poultry. But is it the end of the human touch?
The thing to remember is that although we will be getting forecasts for possibly up to 5 or 7 days ahead, these will only be lines on a piece of paper, and it will always be necessary to have a man to translate them from lines and symbols on paper into what the weather is going to be like, into what it's going to be like, we'll say, tomorrow in Galway, whether it will be wet or dry.
John B, your ratings in the Limerick Leader gave me the impression that you have a very high opinion of the sagacity of the members of the canine race, to wit, dogs.
Yes, I have. Particularly this summer, you know, the summer just gone. I have found that a dog owned by a man called Forden in Chester is a better weather forecaster than any of the fellows on radio television. Who we have found with will be very disappointing, and we have made plans according to the way they have spelled out the following day's forecasts, only to be very disappointed. Now, Forden's dog will always cross to the other side of the street when it's going to rain, because it's the shady side. And when the rain stops, he won't come back again. He'll come back only when he's absolutely positive that there won't be any more rain. Now, Forden's dog, of course, like you and I, Frank, and like any other human being, is subject to the same sort of biological weaknesses of all the human species. And one day he crossed the road, and instead of raining, the weather turned fine. In fact, one of the finest days we ever had. And Forden's dog lost faith in the eyes of his many supporters. What happened was this. This beautiful Alsatian bitch came around Scully's corner, walked up the street. Forden's dog, being what he was, a full-blooded, healthy mongrel, crossed the road and made advances to this Alsatian bitch. The result was that he forgot about the weather. But who hasn't forgot about the weather under certain circumstances? No, it has come to my attention in the past few days that a man looking very like, suspiciously like Seamus Miller of radio television was seen coming out of Forden's with a dog attached to a leash. Now, I inquired a few fellas I know high up in television, very high up in it, you know. And they told me that a certain sum of money had been allocated for the improvement in weather forecasting. It is my honest belief that they have bought Forden's dog. And they put him at one side of the Telefish Erdon studios, and the minute he crosses over, of course, to Lane. But they better bring no bitch in there.
Two were upset for eating and upset for biting, John.
Well, that's the point. But if he had laid his cards on the table and told his wife that these teeth were not his own, you see, and told you, remember what he wanted the teeth for? It's the same with life, Frank. If you, when first we practice to deceive, you know that poem.
What a web we mortals weave.
When first we practice to deceive. No, if your man had put his cards on the table and said, I want a pair of 2 sets of blunt teeth for love biting and 2 sets of pointy teeth for chewing. You see?
Yeah.
But he didn't, you see.
Yeah. Well, did it have any sort of a harmful effect upon the relationship?
The wife, of course, after the first bite, let a screech out of her, and ran for her life, semi-clad, down the stairs of the hotel.
Where was this?
This was in Ballybunnan. Down the stairs of the hotel, and below she met the proprietors of the hotel, who asked her what was wrong with her, and she said, he's after biting me. And blasted, she said, he ate an awful supper here tonight, she said. So he can't be hungry, you see. But the gist of the thing was that the girl went home to her mother. And it took 6 or 7 weeks before they ever got together again. And your man, I can tell you, he never bit her again.